Keep on, my friends, let us help this little guy. Entering this forest area, we have to do 53 tall steps for the step manipulation, and this first room is safe for the danger rate. But when you consciously fall inside the underground river, the danger rate starts advancing again, as this is where the dungeon begins. And it only advances on these platforms that you find along the river. When you swim across the current, the game actually starts an event that drags you around and forces encounters on specific tiles. So regardless of the step route you are using, you will always have battles happen when you swim on the river, but we don't want to kill things here. Between Dragon Valley and this place, we have to hit level 15 and 5 AP, so the grinding is shared across both areas. And these crabs are a good candidate for AP, so defend with the nairs and thus some money a couple times. The samurai should have built a memory cursor after Gilgamesh, but that's enough to kill them, and they give 400 experience. Nothing too impressive after mini dragons, but it will suffice. But I recommend doing most of the grinding on Dragon Valley because the rewards are far juicier, it's just more efficient. But you can just kill things, a couple things here on the way, so whatever. If you choose to grind here, it might be better to kill things with ninjas. You can toss Thunder Scrolls, and most things here are weak to lightning or have really bad magic defense, so you just insta-kill them anyway, and that would be an effective way to do that. But it's better to grind with a couple samurai because of AP management concerns, so there is less job switches, and that's the reason we grind more on Dragon Valley. Anyway, now on this platform we take 4 steps, so I like using the gap over here and go for another dip. And for the rest of the encounters on this area, we're just going to flee from everything. Don't worry about not having escape on Lena. Your success rate at fleeing is pretty high, if not guaranteed, so you can just leave the battle immediately. And that chest here contains some money, but just skip it because it doesn't justify the time loss. As minimal as it is, we just get money through other sources, and that one doesn't help at all. But you do want a couple of steps, so that will be your chance to grab the money, if you so choose. Just escape from these encounters, and on the last platform you want 4 steps, so like going back, touch the left, and go swim through the last range. So we should have enough steps to reach the boss without an encounter, and the boss itself will refresh the danger rate for us. So same setup as Grociana, just engage the battle, and should be that. So Tyrasaurus, this guy is simple, I want to say. So this guy is lacking a heavy flag. Heavy is an enemy type that renders most bosses immune to a lot of cheeses, such as Odin, I don't know, break, insta-death, so just things that would end the battle immediately otherwise. You cannot even use demi spells on bosses because of heavy flag. So for whatever reason, this guy is lacking the heavy flag. So we can insta-kill him with a Phoenix Down because he's also an undead enemy, and they insta-die to any revival decks. And when you cast an item into an undead enemy, you have to deal with a different formula. It's not guaranteed to connect, and I think it uses the same formula as Slash, the samurai skill, so it has an 85% success rate, so your chances of connecting Phoenix Downs is very reasonable, and you shouldn't take more than maybe 5 at worst. Usually you just hit it first try, but you saw me that I had to battle for the hit rate there, and it's just... Some days it's in a really bad mood and you just won't let you connect the Tyrasaurus, but you just have to keep trying. The guy has 5000 health and you could kill him with Giltos, I guess, but he reacts to physical damage with counters, I believe. I don't know, like for my entire life I always kill a Tyrasaurus with Phoenix Downs, so I really have no idea what the AI script does on that guy. But Phoenix Downs is the efficient, quick way of killing that guy in a speedrun, so it's just what we're going for. And during that cutscene, the Moogle was telling us that going through the desert is a really bad idea, and I will be inclined to agree, because... well, let me do a change and setup here to show you what happens. I'm gonna set up a smoke on Lena to try and flee from battles, but everything on Grociana is impossible to run away from, literally impossible. Not like in Karnak where you had a chance. Here, if I use Smoke, notice that the game doesn't even give me the dignity of showing me that I fail to run away. Like, you just cannot flee, period, from anything on the desert. So if you encounter something here, you will have to kill it. And there is a certain enemy called Sandcrawl, I believe, that is just insane. You need like 7 guild tosses to kill the guy, and it takes forever, and you have to kill him. So if you're outside of step manipulation, my recommendation is taking the path the Moogle used, because walking on grass or forest tiles doesn't advance the danger rate. So I just had a slight misstep there inside the desert, but you just want to walk over here, cross the forest and into this last patch of forest, and use hug the mountains, and you will be able to reach the Moogle forest safely on the same tile the Moogle showed you. So right over here should be on the spot. So that's what you can do outside of step manipulation, but for the step route, we're going to walk across the desert because it's not only faster, the step route has to do it to gain extra steps. So, okay, as we start off here, we want to walk straight up, straight north until this patch of forest, and you want to reach this corner, and you want to half a step into the desert, and then walk a couple tiles, go back into the grass, and you want to walk around the desert. And when you reach this corner here, you want to go into it, then walk 3 tiles to the right and pause, and now we can exit the desert as soon as we can and enter the Moogle forest. Pretty simple. Here, notice that as I enter the village, I'm going to get an internal timer on the bottom right. When that hits 0, you get a coupon message, just as flavor, I suppose, but it is annoying because you gotta reach this Moogle over here on the top right of the village. It's the Moogle we just rescued back at the other Grand River, and he's the next sequence trigger. He's going to allow you to enter his house, and you have to talk with the Moogle again, because this starts another internal timer, and when that hits 0, the next sequence trigger happens. The Moogle leaves his house, and we just have to wait outside until then, but in the meanwhile, we're going to grab some chests. So 10,000 gil and the Dancing Dagger, a critical item for the route because it boosts agility by 1, and it's also a knife, so that means that it can be pretty much globally equipped by every job class, and it's really nice to align the turn sequences. So when the internal timer hits 0, you just wait out and talk with Moogle again and have the next sequence run its course. In the village you can also find more stuff. The other chests just don't have anything that would justify the use. And you could also get an Elven Mantle by infatuating one of the Moogles into giving you their belongings, but it's not useful because it's going to take priority over running shoes on late game, so that would disrupt menus, so it's not something we actually want to grab if we can help it. But now we are in Battle Castle.